Before creation itself, there were 6 singularities. Forged into infinity stones.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. Surprise, surprise, Avengers Infinity War is actually going to be censored some places around the world. That's right, there are banned scenes that are just being cut out wholesale. The Russo brothers were reacting to it recently like, what? Why are you cutting out pieces of our movie? This is a PG-13 movie. So I'll explain what's going on, what parts of the film are going to be censored, and who has to worry about it. It only happens a couple places around the world where governments heavily censor stuff. So if you're watching this YouTube video of me talking about it, they probably don't censor YouTube in your country, so you'll probably be fine. So if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the Marvel videos. I'm doing an Infinity Gauntlet replica giveaway. All you have to do to enter that is just be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. The original cut of the film is supposed to be 156 minutes long, so 2 hours and 36 minutes is what most of us are going to be watching in the movie theater. It's just a couple minutes longer than Captain America Civil War, so Infinity War is now officially the longest Marvel film that they've ever released. The way that the Russos found out that some of the film had been banned in their country and it was going to be cut down was through a paper in Indonesia reporting that the censorship board was releasing a 149-minute cut of the film. Normally that wouldn't make anybody prick their head up, but if you knew that the film was actually 156 minutes long, you're like, wait a minute, that's 7 minutes of film that they're cutting down. That might not sound like a lot, but 7 minutes is a long freaking time. Consider that there's a cut, like an edit, in every scene every couple of seconds. So that means that they're cutting out a couple scenes as well as parts of scenes across the film. It's not like they're just taking 1 or 2 scenes out. It's bits and pieces. Like the Black Panther film got censored in India because during their fight, Black Panther and Killmonger uttered the name of a Hindu deity and they censored that. They didn't want people talking about that. So usually it's religious content, sexual content, or extreme violence. But it's a PG-13 movie. So naturally the Russos are like, we're shocked. We can't imagine which 7 minutes that they would want to take out of the film. It's meant to be watched by families. It's being released by a company that's owned by Disney, the family-friendly company of all family-friendly companies. Pretty easy sell on what they're cutting down. So like Doctor Strange being tortured by Ebony Maw, gonna take that out for violence, or at least cut it way, way down so that it doesn't linger on all those spikes sticking in his face. There's really crazy things like in China, they cut down supernatural aspects of films that deal with ghosts or life after death. That is the soul gem. So the soul gem preserves life after death. It consumes them, takes them down into the soul world. There's the idea that there's going to be a big twist with the soul gem in the movie that will involve something like that. Even though it might sound ridiculous, like you go to see a movie like this, you understand that it's sci-fi. There's scenes with Scarlet Witch and Vision when they're a couple early in the film before they go on the run. They've been living together as a couple. You can imagine what they've been doing, just sort of experimenting. Like you've seen him making himself look like he's more human. He's fully functional. He has a vibranium body that he can turn into anything he wants it to be. Not that Marvel's going to release a hardcore sexual film, but even the implication that a human would have a relationship with a robot like that, like you can imagine them censoring Guillermo del Toro's Shape of Water because the woman falls in love with the fish man. So if there's like a scene with Scarlet Witch in Vision in bed, even if they're not doing anything, they'd still cut it out. You have that whole battle sequence where Scarlet Witch and Vision are fighting off Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive before Captain America and the Secret Avengers come in. There's that trailer shot where Corvus Glaive has his staff embedded in Vision's forehead trying to take the gem out, just him screaming in agony. Just like that Doctor Strange scene just becomes a form of torture. They cut stuff like that way down. You have the battle on Titan, which for the most part seems like it's pretty safe. I think everybody's going to be seeing the same version of that, but I think we're all expecting a character to die on the planet. That's what they cut down. Thanos just beating someone to a bloody pulp. Like imagine it's a version of John Carpenter's They Live, Roddy Piper, Keith David fight. It just goes on, and you're just like screaming by the end of it. They cut stuff like that down. Like how long do you linger on what you would call graphic content? That's where it gets hit the hardest in countries like China. Indonesia is really where a lot of this is being censored. The only other thing that's quicker to get banned is stuff like in the Deadpool movie where he's getting pegged. There's definitely a sliding scale of WTF content. But you have to imagine that the more the film gets censored in other countries, the more awesome it sounds. Like, this was too awesome to be screened. We're too worried about what it's going to do to people. Oh my God, I have to see it. Give it to me right now. First Deadpool movie didn't even make it into China. They're like, don't even try.
What would Deadpool's message be to the Chinese censors that refuse this film.
We haven't even talked
world
about that.
divided by fear, one man must stand alone. Deadpool, rated fuck you, you'll never see this.
No, honestly, it's easy for me to wear that as a badge of honor. Like, we got banned in China. I hate that. I wish, I love China, and I would love the people of China to see Deadpool.
It's too bad because, you know, the reason they're banning it is I don't think they get a lot of the irony, which ironic humor isn't huge in China. But they have such a good sense of humor. There's so many hilarious action movies there. That's what this is. It is a bummer that that market won't get to see it. So we encourage everybody to make their way over to America and check it out starting in February. You look like Shrek took a shit on your neck. You look like the inside of other people's assholes.
This is the least confusing erection I've ever had.
Oh, shit. The drinks are not on Wade. Use the money for sex, not for friendship.
I'm gonna act the shit out of this, I promise. Stop f***ing with me, Tom. Camera's on me now.
What the f*** is the line? I forgot.
Ms. Maximoff mellan höftslamkaffa till försök. Ms. Maximoff manipulates molecular polarity.
Would you like another one?
Moving on. Same thing that should happen to you. Psychological, oh, mother.
Yup. See a smooth motherfucker walking towards you, you speed choke.
Wanda, Vision is really hurt in the feelings.
If any of you do live in a country that regularly censors movies for specific types of content, religious, sexual, violent, let me know. Usually what ends up happening in those situations is that the people that really want to see the full cut of the film will just end up pirating it, or they try to find the DVD 6 months later, or they try to watch some leak on the internet. Usually just takes a little bit longer, but everybody does get to see that full cut. And there is a lot of deleted material that didn't make the final theatrical cut, but that's stuff like Thanos' backstory, stuff that they'll put on the DVD. So don't worry, there'll be all kinds of crazy bonus content for the Infinity War. And when we marathon both Avengers 3 and Avengers 4 next year, we can call it the Infinity Watch. It'll wind up being some crazy movie that's longer than 5 hours. I don't know how long Avengers 4 is going to be, but I'm guessing it's going to be about the same length as Infinity War. There is a whole bunch of other Infinity War stuff that's happening this next week, but leave all your bonus video requests in the comments below. I'll name a giveaway winner when I post new Marvel. My next video will be the Walking Dead finale. That should post later tonight, so look out for that. Click here for more new Infinity War, and click here to learn about Thanos' backstory that they cut from the film. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.